is Masterclass. Oh.
Immigration.
Employment.
Family matters.
Litigation.
With the recent changes in the law, your position may have changed. You need to visit us today at Great Spring Solicitors, and you'll be glad you did. At Great Spring Solicitors, we're very dependable and loyal to our clients, just like my dog Tiffany. Visit us today, and you'll be glad you did.
Great Spring Solicitors. Timely intervention, timeless results.
This is Masterclass, a program that talks about all matters that concerns family, children, marriages, single mothers, the struggles, the challenges. We talk about employment issues, immigration matters. We delve we don't only talk about the problems, we talk about how to solve them, how to resolve them, and how to, basically this program is all about sensitizing people, giving people information, giving them, signposting them to where they can seek help in every aspect of life so that they can live a successful life. So thank you for joining us on Masterclass this morning. The topic today that we're going to talk about is on domestic violence. If you remember, if you've been following this program, we've talked about relationships, what a relationship entails, both with friends, with family members, with spouses. How do we choose our life partners? And how do we what are the things that informs us about saying I do when the time comes? Are we ready psychologically, emotionally to be able to meet that man, that woman, and then to now see if that man, that woman is suitable for us? And then up to the stage of saying I do. This is the man I'm going to live, spend the rest of my life with. This is the woman I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Are there issues surrounding such decisions? I ask these questions because sometimes people go into relationships for different reasons. People go into relationships because they feel a guy is tall, dark, and handsome. A girl is beautiful. They want to show off this beautiful woman to all their friends. Oh, I've met this beautiful girl, I want to marry her. People go into relationships for reasons that as time goes on, they begin to find out that these are not the real reasons why people come together, to be together. Love, it's good to be in love, to say, okay, you love this guy, you love this woman, you want to spend the rest of your life with her. But marriage entails more than love. There is more to marriage than seeing somebody, falling in love with the person. Marriage is not all about falling in love, showing affection. Marriage is about finding that person, that man, that woman, that the two of you have the same ideologies. It's very important that you understand that marrying somebody who you have the same ideologies with will go a long way to help the marriage succeed. Because beauty, handsomeness, and sometimes money, they are not the things that qualify a successful relationship. Because all of that, as time goes on, you find out that those are infinitesimal things that don't really count towards happiness. Now, coming back to our topic, sometimes people make choices, not because they are bad people, but because because of lack of knowledge, because they don't have the necessary information and the necessary counseling that they require before taking that lifelong decision to settle with somebody. And one of the after effects that we find in societies these days is issues of divorce, issues of wife beating, things like domestic violence, which at the end of the day now affects children. So these are serious matters which we're going to discuss on this program this morning. So now, coming back to the topic of our discussion this morning, domestic violence. What really is domestic violence? When people hear the definition of domestic, they are like, oh, after all, he doesn't actually hit me physically. Domestic violence doesn't necessarily have to be physical hitting. or that maybe somebody is pulling the woman or hitting her or causing her harm physically. It could be psychological. It could be emotional. When the people in a relationship, when a woman is being talked down, oh, she's foolish, she can amount to nothing, she's fat. Even some women, they've been told so much that they are fat to the extent that they begin to believe that indeed that they are fat and ugly. So that can be emotional and psychological abuse. Different kinds of abuse also comes in form of financial abuse. When a man and a woman, they're married and they're together, and then every opportunity for the woman to access money is denied by this man. For example, there are women who, even though they are working, at the end of the day, all the wages is being taken by the husband, giving reasons that perhaps sometimes, it's the man that brought her into the UK. So that could be financial abuse. A woman needs something, perhaps maybe she's not working, and then the husband is not providing for her. That again could be financial abuse. When you have a controlling behavior, you want to control the life of your spouse. You want to control the people she talks to, the people she should be on the phone with, the people she should make friends with, the kind of clothes you deny her the opportunity of being able to be herself at each point in time. She's not free. Everything she does is never good. You always want to be negative, talking her down in the presence of people in the public, even sometimes name calling. All these things amount to domestic violence. Calling her names. There are couples, men who call their wives, who go as much as calling their wives prostitutes, saying she's free for all, making her feel lesser than what God has created her to be. And gradually she begins to believe that indeed this is who she is. And then she begins to sort of withdraw from meeting friends. She begins to withdraw from speaking up to even family members, because the man has controlled her so badly to the extent that she begins to believe that the fault is from her actually. He has made her to believe, he has intimidated her so much to the extent that she believes that the fault is from her. And then she believes that she is a bad person. So the impact of such kind of behavior from a spouse, the side effects, it can be really, really disadvantageous, especially not only for the woman when there are children involved in the home. And so you see children who suffer silently in the home. They start playing up, sort of posing a kind of challenging behavior within the home environment. Even sometimes when they go to school, you get reports from their teachers coming up with all kinds of complaints about these children. Sometimes the children begin to wet the bed. They begin to become anxious. Sometimes they have nightmares because sometimes they've seen their dad physically molesting their mom, or verbally saying these negative words to their mother. And then the whole family is being destroyed gradually. So those are the effects, the kind of home environment that domestic violence creates in the lives of both women and children. I say women and children not because there are no men, not because men sometimes don't suffer domestic violence, but we're looking at the statistics. We do understand that indeed sometimes there are men who suffer violence in the hands of their spouse, their female spouse. That is understood, but we're looking at the vulnerability of women, the statistics. Statistics shows that most of the times, it is men who abuse women. Maybe because of the way, obviously, because of their physique, because they are stronger, the way God built them, they're stronger. And of course, because they are the head of the home. So the women are, again, exposed to this kind of vulnerability. So they are the ones that face this kind of abuse most of the times. So the problem now is, how do we address these incidences of domestic violence? Because we've had stories here in the UK, in America, all over the world, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Zimbabwe, in the West Indies, of incidences of death, women being killed by their spouses. Recently, sometimes in around March, April last year in 2014, there's this incident of a Nigerian couple in Texas. The husband shot the wife, who is a medical doctor. He shot her to death when she was sleeping, in her sleep. And they've got 3 young children. So you can imagine the trauma, the pain, and the feeling of loss, not only for the children, because at the end of the day, they've not only lost their mother, the realization later in life, for them, somebody is going to say to them, their mother was actually killed by their father. So it's like the life of those children, if not properly monitored or properly managed, will be destroyed the rest of their life. The stigma that those children will face. For example, maybe somebody wants to get married to either the female or male children of that family. And then there's going to now come up family history. Oh, don't go marry any of them. That was the boy that the father killed the mother. You see? So to think that this is a man who saw something good in the woman, proposed to her, visited her parents, paid her bride price, and then decided to marry her. If you think down memory lane and you're thinking, how did this man now come to the extent of making up his mind, deliberately making up his mind, going to get a gun, and then planning up this whole thing to take this woman's life? How did this man get to the extent of making such a drastic decision without thinking about the interest of the children, the welfare of the children? He was only thinking about himself, apparently maybe because of anger, unforgiveness, bitterness. He was at that point only thinking about himself. What could have happened in that family? What, to the extent that made that man make that decision to take the wife's life? There are other incidences, not only this recent one. Stories all over America where even a man killed the wife and the mother-in-law. Again, then it comes back to the issue of who is this man? What is the background of people who have the likelihood of causing other people harm? What could have gone wrong in their upbringing? Were they taught to understand the difference between what is good and what is bad? Were they taught how to be strong psychologically and emotionally? How to accept disappointments and frustrations of life? If you look at this man, he's a 63-year-old man, and from the story I had, the wife was 35, almost half his age. And then again, he wasn't working, and she obviously took all her medical exams and became vibrant, a prosperous young medical doctor. Perhaps at that point, he became envious of her. It's possible that, again, that instrument of control, he thought to himself, I brought her all the way from Nigeria, and then suddenly she's grown bigger than me professionally, and I don't have a job. Then again, it boils down to the question of, at the point when he made that decision to marry this woman, did he look into the future to say to himself, I'm going to be able to accept whatever progress, whatever prospects or successes comes with my wife, this woman I want to marry, I'm going to embrace it and enjoy it and become a part of it? What led a 63-year-old man to make up his mind to destroy the future of his children, to destroy his wife, to destroy the hopes and aspirations of the extended family members of both families. What brought about that decision? Sometimes people are not bad, but the decisions and the choices that they make sometimes portray them as being bad people. That is why it's very important that when it's time for us to make decisions to get married, there is no point for us to be too much in a hurry. There is no point for us to be looking at the things, superficial things that don't make up a successful marriage. It is important that we use certain backgrounds, certain histories, certain standards to look for that future partner, to look for that future husband, to look for that future